Liberia is our only home. Liberia is our only home. We cannot sit and watch Liberia die. Liberia is our home. Liberia is our home. The only home we know. Let's fight to bring it back. Take it from the rogues. Take it from the thieves. Let us punish them. Liberia is our home. Liberia is our home. All you patriots rise. The time has come to end the massive stealing of our wealth. Rise, oh patriots. Rise, my patriots. Time to get our nation back. Liberia is our only home. We cannot sit and watch Liberia die. Liberia is our home, the only home we have. Rise up, patriots. Rise up, loyalists. Commander Chesson is calling the order of the day. Liberia is our home, the only home we know. Liberia cannot die. We owe it to our parents. We owe it to our elders. We owe it to the ancients. We owe it to our parents. Liberia cannot die. Rise up, oh patriots. Rise up, oh loyalists. Liberia is our home, the only home we have. Fight, fight for Liberia. Fight, fight for freedom. Fight, fight to free Liberia. Liberia is our home, the only home we ever know. Liberia is our pride, the inheritance we have. Rise, patriots, rise, loyalists, rise, Liberians. Follow Commander Chesson. Follow Commander. Follow Commander Chesson. Rise, rise. Tony Commander Chesson shall lead the order. Save Liberia. Free Liberia. Follow Commander Chesson. He will set the path. He will set the path. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women, welcome to Tony Commander Galpohkpa Chesson Talk Show. Today is June the 23rd. Yes, June the 23rd. We arrive at this new day with what to show for it. We arrive at this new day with what to show for it. What has Liberia got to show for what we are in today? What has Liberians got to show for what we are today? The whole quest of our country and people linger on one word: justice. Justice, justice, justice. And we don't get justice in this era, we'll never get justice again. We've been on this path since 1980. They killed 13 people. They overthrew our government. for justice. They killed Simon Doe. They overthrew our government again for justice. 14 years of civil war. 250,000 Liberians died. For what? Justice. All our sicknesses we've been through. Ebola. Now we're going through this other pandemic. COVID-19. For what? Justice. All about justice, man. Finding truth and justice for our people. And we can't arrive to this one justice. We keep trying since 1980. We've killed so many people. We shed so many blood. Our soil is sapped with blood. From years of civil war, almost 40 years, 50 years now, killing people, our people. And yet, we have not arrived. We have not landed. Our nation and people are still in danger. Civilization has invaded our country. And we're still on the brink of destruction, self-destruction, and darkness, and evil. Why? 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 All because of leadership. All our problem is because of leadership. Leadership. When leadership got confused in 1980, and you see, it's so unfair to our country, man. It's so unfair to us that we are in this mess. It's so unfair. Our country is so young. Just from Tottenham the other day. Look where we are today. Liberian people today know nothing else beyond Tottenham. And Tottenham people are about to fade now because look at me, all this gray. I'm about to go. When we're gone from Tottenham, there will be nobody else to remember Tottenham time. Things will start from Talbot time because that's how it runs. One generation runs out, the next generation take it up. Now, back the generation gone, most of it. All the people that are here now are from Tottenham generation. And if we don't get it right, we lose our history from Tottenham because the history we have today is BS. It's a convolution of uselessness. People not knowing our culture. People not putting the right things down. There are many problems in our country. There are many problems in our society. Too many issues. And at the crux of all these problems is the word justice. 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 Because that's what we have fought for since 1980. This is why we have been on all this mess for justice. And we can't get justice. We can't find the justice we're looking for. Why? Because our country is still run by warlords. The same killers and murderers from 1980 still running our country. So why would they want justice? Why would they want justice? For us to punish them for the years and nearly decades of crimes they have committed against Liberian people with impunity? For us to see whole families being in prison because of nepotism and corruption? to see our leaders who are leading us today face the war crimes court because of their evils against the Liberian people, because of holding us hostages in our own country, because they have killed so many of us. What is our plight? What is our destiny? What is our near future? Not even distant future. What is our near future? When we wake up tomorrow, what can we expect? Because, let me put up my topic now. Excuse me. Because last night we went to bed with a whole different thing on our plates. We knew we had an issue with war crimes. We knew we have Liberians across the world yelling out and crying for war crimes court and justice and rule of law and order in Liberia. We know that we have always suffered from the problems of rape, stealing, murder. But when we wake up this morning, we got a whole different thing. So my topic for today is, my topics are, is war and economic crimes court a threat to President George Weah personally? 2, COVID-19 consumes Monrovia. 3, the review. Let's start with my first topic. Is war and economic crimes court a threat to President George Weah personally? This is a serious question because we want to know why George Weah is so afraid of initiating a war crimes court for Liberia. Is he afraid that he's going to get implicated? Because all through the Civil War, we don't know who all got involved with this. We don't know who all donated money. We don't know who all went on the battlefield to render support, moral support, or spiritual support, whatever it is. We don't really know. But those that have been on the front line have told us George Weah been involved. Yeke Koluba stated that George Weah was a supporter of Model, or armed faction in the Liberian Civil War. So there must be a reason why George Weah is afraid to address the question of war crimes, war and economic crimes court in Liberia. There's got to be a reason why. Because if George Weah were not involved in the war, he had no implications or attachment to any groups or warring factions, he would be eager to see that justice come to Liberia, that people are punished. Or is it because of election? Does he believe that he has to hang on to Prince Johnson, the most massive killer in Liberia, who is senator now, to get victory for Nimba County? Are the Nimba people still so backwards that they will support Prince Johnson, even knowing that justice and peace in our country rests upon the war crimes court being established and these people being brought to justice? Will the people of Nimba County continually destroy Liberia following this mass killer and putting his interests above the interests of our nation and people? We want to know. We want to know where our president stands in this whole convoluted BS. Where you stand, George Weah? Are you scared that you'll be named in the war crimes court and you'll be implicated as a supporter and killer? Or is it because of 2023 you want support this wicked murderous killer called Prince Johnson to remain in power against the will of the Liberian people, against the need for justice of the Liberian people? We can't go on like this. We cannot go on like this. Now look at this foolish thing that just came out of the Senate, responding to George Weah's request for guidance on whether to form a war crimes court. These idiots and criminals in the Senate trying to change the destiny of our country. Again, trying to change law and order in our country again. The same Vonnie Sherman, the same wicked Prince Johnson, the same murderers and killer Prince Johnson, and Moyi, and all these people who are deceitful liars and killers of our country and people. The same people say the lawmakers for our country. The same people who have killed our people. The same people who have robbed from our nation. And amongst them, Vonnie Sherman and Prince Johnson. The most profound briber and criminal, economic criminal of Liberia, Vonnie Sherman. The most massive killer of Liberian people, Prince Johnson. These two murderers and wicked people are the very same people in our legislature that putting their names and signature on document to avoid justice coming to our country and to our people. Why? Why? Why we got to let these people hold us hostages time and time again? Why? Now we're sitting here, this other president Finney asking for recommendation on how to proceed with this TRC issue. Ever since 2-3 years ago, he wrote for advice. Nobody acted on it. Now, we see yesterday, or day before yesterday, the U.S. Congress called a meeting of Liberians and people interested in Liberian issue to talk about the bringing a war crimes court, the necessary plight of Liberian people that must be brought to the forefront, that must be addressed, that must be resolved. Now listen to our watching one of the Liberian show this morning. The woman talking about how she saw the man who stabbed her and did so bad to her, and she can't do nothing to him, and he walking around. And when war crimes court comes, she will be one of the first presidents to go testify against this man. These are the things our people going on. We are looking at these people that have committed crimes, evil crimes against our relatives and against us. And these people are calling themselves our lawmakers. These people are telling us they have killed our people like dogs and they can talk for us. And we have no power over it because they're Nimba people supporting them, or they're Cape Man people supporting them. Know that these are the same people who have killed the masses of Liberian people, who have robbed our country blind. Now these are the same people, our lawmakers. How long will we go through this bullshit? This is total bullshit. How long are we going to go through it? How long are we going to tolerate rogues and murderers being our leaders, making our laws, telling us we can punish them, telling us our efforts to punish them must be turned into something else. Instead of the TRC, we might have Transitional Justice Commission. What is that? Who gave these people the right to tell us how to run our country? The same people that the international community have identified as rogues and killers. And these are the same people making laws for us, signing documents for us to go follow. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, Liberian people? This is insanity. This is stupidity. This is total ignorance. The same people that rob us and kill us in mass are the very same people that tell us we cannot bring courts to punish them. Does that sound? Does that make Liberian people sound like civilized people? It make all of y'all in Liberia sound like dummies. The same people that kill you, and we know they kill you. We know they murder you. We know Vonnie Sherman has been charged by the world as a briber and a criminal. And these are the same people who want to punish them. We want to bring law and order in our country to punish them. And these are the same people that go into our legislature and coming us and telling us we can't punish them. Instead of punishing them, we must seek for transitional justice. You kill our people, you rob our country, then you won't tell us whether to punish you or not? My Liberian people, is this insanity or what? Does this make Liberian people look like asses or what? Does this make Liberian people look like idiots or what? Does this make Liberian people look like fools or what? The very same people that killed us for 14 years, the very same Vonnie Sherman that has robbed us from the beginning of the revolution to today, from Dothan to today, that the international community have caught this man, and he is known as a briber and a rogue and a killer. Because when you bribe our people, you kill our people. You try to change our laws for foreigners, for you and your family to benefit, and our country to die. You kill us. So here we are with the same Vonnie Sherman. Here we are with the same Prince Johnson. Here we are with the same Moe and all these people. And it is a disgusting shame to the Liberian people. And what is even more shameful? What is even more shameful? It's the Unity Party. Boca wants us to vote for him. Then Boca cannot control his senators. They cannot control the senators in the Senate. They put out a public notice that Unity Party is behind the war crimes court. They support it. Then we see again all the senators in the Liberian legislature signed a document to avoid the war crimes court. This is also deceitfulness. This is why our country is all about deceitfulness and lies and treachery and betrayal. This is it. Unity Party puts out a paper telling us that they reaffirm their support for the war crimes court. Yet, all their senators, every one of their senators, are the very people that put their signatures on this document telling us they don't want a war crimes court. There's confusion in our leadership. Liberia has no leadership. There is serious confusion. If a political party can put out a statement stating that it supports one thing. Then all of its senators from the same party go to the legislature and vote against the very statement of the party. So that means we can't trust Unity Party. Bonka has no control. Why would all the senators from Unity Party go against the will of the party? Are they above the party? Then the George Weah said we got questions about him. Yeke say he supported model. Yeke say he went on the front line with Ellen to see them. Who are these people leading our country? Our country needs overhauling. We have no leaders in our country. We got rogues and criminals. We got bandits and the old lady, Ellie Johnson Sirleaf. We can't go on like this. We can't go on. There is a serious matter of confusion, disillusion in our leadership. Our leaders are crazy. They have lost their minds. They cannot give us justice. They cannot give us truth. They cannot give us law and order. And above all, they cannot save Liberia. Our leaders are criminals. Our leaders are rogues. Our leaders are just as bad as the low-down criminals in the street, and they cannot lead us. These people need to go to jail. This is even more reason for us to demand the war crimes, the war and economic crimes court. We got to overhaul our country. We got to free our people. We got to free ourselves. Open your eyes. I can't be talking this thing alone. Open your eyes. Something is wrong. You can't see it. Let me get my second topic. COVID-19 has consumed Monrovia. I just called Monrovia. Everybody wearing masks. They got police at all the corners to make sure people wear masks. And people are contracting the disease like hell in Monrovia. We have no beds. We have no hospitals. We have no health care. We have nothing. The health ministry is telling people to go home and stay with your relatives and let them contract the disease trying to kill you. So all of you can just die together in the house. And nobody will know because nobody leaving their houses to come look to other people's houses. Everybody trying to stay home. Everybody trying to avoid unnecessary death. Why is our country so incompetent? Why is our country so backwards? Why are our leaders so useless? Is it because we in the diaspora are enlightened now? We are asking questions about our country. We are showing concern for our country and people. We are realizing how significant our country is to us. But if we don't understand these things, Liberia mother will just die. If we're going to live and see our useless leaders running our country like this, no law, no order, no health care, no nothing in Liberia. Just a group of immature people running around stealing, acting like they own Liberia, and they don't. So you will let these people take over our country? You will let these people punch us into a deeper darkness and death? I mean, our country is so useless. We know we're in COVID-19. We know we are the poorest nation in the world. Everything we put down They steal it. The buckets for the COVID water to people wash their hands in the street. They're stealing all the buckets. The minister asking people to return the buckets. I mean, what will run here? A club? Liberia is being run just like EULA, like a little club. Everybody doing what they want to do. No consistency. No systematic way of living and doing things. Everybody just come with their own idea. What is this, man? Look at my voice even going. What is this? This is backwardness. Now our whole city is on a life for COVID-19. And everybody's scared. The people are talking to him like, oh, we're so scared to go out. So can we afford another lockdown? Huh? Can we afford another lockdown? Because the Minister of Justice of Health is already telling people employers got to sack some of their employees and only keep 50%. So people are going to lay off their employees again. This is not going well for the economy of Liberia. This is not going well for the economy of a nation where people are just stealing with impunity. They are stealing and don't care about it. They are stealing like it's their pop or mom properties. How long? How long? How long, Liberia? How long, Liberian people? How long? Everybody just steal. We have no sense of decency. We have no sense of law and order. We have no sense of patriotism. We have no sense of protecting what is ours. We see the people stealing. We say, okay, take it. Our time coming next. Our country can grow. Our country can develop. People will die continuously because we not have the adequate means to have decent health care, to have decent hospitals, to have trained workers. And all these are essential. They are essential for a wholesome functioning society. If we don't have these things, our society will perish. Look at right now, all through Liberia, in this era of pandemic, there are no beds in the hospital. There are no hospital beds. So the hospital are overrun. And you gotta go home. So they tell you when you come, you positive, go home, stay with your family. When all of you get infected, we'll think about that later. And this is a contagious disease. This is not a disease that's not contagious. So everybody is exposed to it. Everybody is exposed to it. There is no exemption. So here we are. I hope they point a bucket now. Because at every ministry, there's supposed to be buckets. At every business, when you get there, you wash your hands before you go in. You wash your hands when you come out. That was the same thing that was carried on during Ebola. Now, the minister saying they can't find any buckets. People not take all the buckets home. So we got to buy new buckets. That's waste. We got all the donated oxygens from Ebola. Nobody hooked it up. Nobody care about it. That's waste. Everything we got is waste. Because once it's done, we don't care about it no more. We look forward to the next project, to the next venture to steal. And to show that these people are so evil and wicked. You know, they won't slap us in the face. They say, look at these people. They want war crimes court. Yeah, let slap them in the face. Let recommend that we change the TRC to TJC and Transitional Justice Commission and ask for money And they said, let's steal some more now. Let's ask for additional money to do the TJC. That is a slap in our faces. That is total disrespect to the Liberian people. We are accusing you of stealing and using our government instrumentalities wastefully. Then you're telling us to hell with War Crimes Court. We don't want it. We want Transitional Justice Commission. And we want more money to do it. Let's teach these stupid Liberian people a lesson. These fools come challenging us, telling us they want War Crimes Court. Who are they? Okay, we want more money now. Let's show them that they are the chicken thieves and we are the leaders. We want more money. And you see how our country running? The people steal for us, then they come and tell us to change the crimes that we give them to something else and give them more money to perpetuate the new thing. What more insulting can that be? These people got to go to jail. These people got to go to jail. They're so derelict in their duties. They're so incompetent. They're so incapable. We come back to the same point we are again. Monrovia is overrun with sickness and disease because they dropped the ball. Instead of maintaining the health standards, they were running behind George Weah all over off country there, singing Muya Muya and begging for Red Cross. But these are the people who are leading us today. And we can't challenge these people. We can't punish these people. And they need to be punished. They need to be challenged. Because when people do the same thing over and over and over, and you're telling them there's a better way, and they're telling you go to hell, would stick with their old way, they need to be rectified. They need to be rectified. And since nobody in Liberia, no correction, your humble self is here. Spare the rod, shall spoil the child. I shall not do that. I shall not do that. Because the leadership of our country is in question. The men and women who's supposed to be the erudites within our society has proven to be useless. 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 So where do we stand today? Where do we stand? Do we follow these people and see our country dying? See our country overridden with COVID-19? See our loved ones being killed and put at risk time and time again because of the incompetence of this leadership, because of the derelict behavior of our leaders, and because of the criminal behavior of our leaders? How long will we go through this thing? How long? Every disease come, we're confused with the beggars now. And the disease not going away. COVID not going away. All disease not going away. The more we're making technology and all these things and advancing, the more we can expect some of these airborne diseases. Because you don't know what people are using what kind of chemicals these people are using. So all the things breathe out atmospheric substances that go in the air, and we inhale them, and they destroy our bodies. So when will we ever take care of our people? Look at even the COVID-19, all the vaccinations, we're not making them. We're just begging. We're just sitting down waiting for the world to finish giving their people their own, then they balance, they send it to us. How long? How long? This doesn't have to be our plight. This doesn't have to be our plight. This is our past experiences. And we got to overcome these things to achieve new and greater things. to move forward in more positive ways. But as long as we stay in these pockets of deceptions and lies and treachery and wickedness, our country will never grow. Our country will never grow. So, here we are again. Then the whole question of bribery comes up again. There's word that George Weah bribing the legislature so that they don't talk about war crimes court. They forget about it. And that is what that $15,000 was all about. The $30,000 to bribe the legislature to keep them off Prince Johnson back. This is not right. Verdier talked about it in his statement. Talk about bribes from the executive to these people so they can't do their work effectively. So they can't do their work in the interest of the Liberian people. How long? How long? We got to move forward. Our people's lives are at risk. Our own lives are at risk. We are at risk. And our government put us in these precarious situations time and time again. Needlessly. Just for their own greed. Why we got to suffer for George Weah and greed? Why we got to suffer for Prince Johnson murderous ways and Vice Chairman corrupt and bribing ways? These people have sold our country to foreigners. If you can bribe our lawmakers and our court to change our laws for foreigners, what else they can't do for us? To kill us, to destroy us. And the people that Vice Chairman spearheading this kind of thing. But my people, let me get in my review, because all these things we're seeing here rest on our own characters as men and women of a free nation and society. Are we ready free? Are we ready free? So we can see now that we're not ready free. We can see now that our leaders are traitors. Our leaders are enemies of ours. Because when you deprive us for other people to live, when you keep us down and you know the world is excelling, something is wrong. Something seriously wrong with you. And your leadership needs to be reviewed. So we come this long way, man. But it is a continual test. Because this is what democracy is. It's a continual test and reinforcement of the ideas that we believe, in. So once we have our faith and beliefs reinforced and reaffirmed time and time again, just like the Unity Party say they're reaffirming their thing. How you reaffirm your thing when you don't have no control over your people in the Senate? They do what they want to do. They have more allegiance to each other than to the people. So what do we do? How do we handle these things? How do we reel our people in and tell them, no, this is not the way it's going to be. This is not the way it's going to be. This is not our policies. This does not represent us. The stealing, the deceitfulness, the lies. When you have people with integrity in certain areas, they hold their position high because they put their personal lives and responsibility as part of their jobs, their name. All those things mean something to them. So when you have people that feel that kind of way, that take pride and dignity in doing their job and knowing that it is a responsibility imposed upon them by the desire to lead. And when you got this responsibility, you got to set it up right, because that's what leadership is all about. Being able to pass things down to the next generation of people intact, whole, so they can build on it. But if they want to sit down on it and be stagnant on it too, then they ain't going nowhere either. But these are the challenges we face. And unless we rise to the plate and accept these challenges and move them to the next level, we have failed. We are failures. So, and these are what matters when you're basing your thing on merits. On merits. Because we keep track of those that do good things and great things. And those that don't do good things and great things, obviously, usually blows off into oblivion. But we have to understand where we stand. We got to understand our plight, our destiny, our future. If we don't understand these things, our nation will remain confused. Because right now, our people are confused between loyalty and personal wealth, loyalty to Liberia and self-aggrandizement. And when we're confused between those two things, our nation will never grow or prosper. And this is where we are now. And that's why we need to punish some of our leaders. Because leadership comes with responsibility. And you miss it time again. You must be reeled in and brought to your own realization of what your responsibility to your country and people should be. My class is done. We need a war crimes court in Liberia. It is significant that we get a war crimes court. It is important that Prince Johnson, all these evil people that have done things in Liberia, be brought to book, be brought to account for the things that they have done. You know, because Bernstein, I see something from Bernstein Eastman here. But anyway, but these are the things we need to account for. You know, yes, they are talking thieves, the Wild Wild West. Yes, that's true. These are all the people who got leading us, thugs and thieves. And this is why we need the war crimes court. Because our country needs justice. Our people need accountability. Our nation needs revival. The time of the Liberian people is now. The time of the Liberian people is now. And we must stand up and take these responsibilities that are innate. Responsibilities are ours. They are inherent in us. They are part of us. And we cannot let it go. We've been on this trend for 40 years almost, going to half a decade, going to half a century. The time of the Liberian people is now. The time for us to stand up and demand that our leaders address the needs of our country effectively is now. And if we fail, we'll be on this trend time and time again. And our country will never find peace, stability, justice, nor be governed by the rule of law. My class is done for the day. But I just want to keep my people conscious on the trend to knowing that we are the masters of our country. We are the leaders of Liberia. Our leaders are there to serve our interests and not their own interests. And when our leaders' interests have come to the point where they are conflicting with their duties to the Liberian people, it's time for us to punish our leaders. It's time for us to reel them in and remove them. It's no time for family. It's no time for close-knit relationship. It's no time for those old things we've been doing, nepotism. It's no time for that. Because in the end, millions of people suffer. Millions of people die needlessly. Aluta! Continue. Have a good day, folks. My class is done. I thank you all for listening and watching wherever you are. And let's get this show back on the road so we can know that in everything we do, we have responsibilities. In everything we do, we have obligations. So when we neglect these things,
Liberia is our only home. Liberia is our only home. We cannot sit and watch Liberia die. Liberia is our home. Liberia is our home. The only home we know. Let's fight to bring it back. Take it from the rogues. Take it from the thieves. Let us punish them. Liberia is our home. Liberia is our home. All you